YouTube, what is good? So today's video is all about how I make money with my photography. Now, people watch these YouTube videos, they see my Instagram, my social media, and I get asked all the time, how do you make money with this type of photography? It just seems like you're going out and shooting whatever it is that you want to shoot, and that's not necessarily the whole story. You see what you see on social media, but you don't see what happens outside of these videos. So today I want to explain the whole process of how I got to the point that I'm at now where I'm making money with photography. Now, honestly, for me, I feel like I have a long way to go to get the financial goals I have for myself and this photography business, but I would love to shed some light on what I've done to get to the point that I'm at now so you can take this information, apply it to your situation and whatever it is that you are doing. Now, here is the key, most important part of this video. I'm not giving you an overnight solution, okay? A lot of the stuff we're talking about today goes back to 2013. It is 2019 now. It has taken me a long time to get to where I'm at, slowly growing, learning, and building piece by piece. So if you're looking for some scammy video that explains how to make money with photography overnight, this will not be it. So here's the first question you have to ask yourself when you want to make that jump from just doing photography as a hobby to professional photography, and that is, who is buying this? Who am I making money off of with this type of photo? Now, I can't tell you what your audience is. Your interest in your photography and what you like to shoot should identify that for you. So for me, when I first got going with photography, I really liked photographing the city of Atlanta. I really liked just getting out with my camera. It's something I still love to do today. And because of that, I identified my potential audience as people who felt the same way as me, people who were excited about the city, who wanted to see the city presented in a more artistic and interesting way. So that was the audience I identified for myself. The second thing you have to ask yourself is, how am I going to capture this audience? How is this audience going to see me? And this can be done in a number of ways. It can be done through a website and marketing. It can be done through billboards, advertisements, and just through word of mouth. That is one of the main things that I used when I first got going, was person-to-person marketing. I went to a lot of events. I met a lot of people. I told them, hey, I'm a photographer. I'll shoot for free. I'll shoot this event for you. I was just trying to get my foot in the door, doing whatever I could to make my name known as a guy who makes photos, and I slowly started getting clients this way. And I also realized with this broad potential audience of people who were interested in Atlanta, I really needed to focus on social media. So the two things that I used to capture my audience were person-to-person marketing and social media. Those were the main things that I immediately began focusing on, and those are the two things that got me my first real paid opportunities with photography. This was like the tent pole, as they say, of my photography business when I first got going. Prints and person-to-person one-off photo shoots. So print came from me posting a photo to social media, building that social media following, and having a website built and available to say, hey, if you like this photo, it's available for purchase. Now, I'm not saying I got rich off selling these prints. I maybe sold 1 or 2 a week, but money did start coming in from them, and I built some experience in running an online store. Now, the second way that I was making money was through person-to-person one-off photo shoots, is what I call them. This is when you go to an event, you introduce yourself as Evan the photographer, and they say, yo, my brother needs a photographer for this thing he's working on. Bang, you got yourself a client. Any opportunity I had like this, I took. I tried to meet and take as many one-off clients as I could. I did so much stuff. I modeled my own photo shoot one time wearing like this hat that said football on it. I did photo shoots for people when they had a baby. I did like engagement shoots. I did literally everything I could. Anyone I met who said, hey, this person needs photos, I said, sign me up. I'm going to try to make this happen. And that was another way I started making money and understanding the business side of photography. These two things, prints and one-off photo shoots, really helped me learn a lot about the photography world, and there's still two things that I do to this day. I don't do as many one-off photo shoots, but I still sell prints on my website, evanranft.com. So these are the two main things that I initially focused on, just finding clients no matter what it was and selling prints off of the work that I posted to my social media. And this is advice I want to give you. Start small. Just start with one thing. Get very good at one thing. When you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who make quite a bit of money, they have multiple streams of income, and you want to try to do this with photography. It's what I try to do, but don't try to start with that. Just start with one thing, learn that one thing, get good, and then pivot off of that as you gain experience. So that leads us into the second way that I make money, which is returning clients who I work with on a more consistent basis. So y'all know that I have one main client that I work with every single week. I do all their photography for social media, promotion, email, web store, basically everything. It's a pretty extensive photo gig. Now, the funny thing is, I originally got introduced to this client through person-to-person marketing, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Someone I knew mentioned my name to someone else, they mentioned my name to someone else, and it came back full circle. I had a meeting with the client, and we built a relationship from there. But the thing is, I'm very happy that I didn't get an opportunity like this right when I started my photo career. I'm glad I gained some experience working in these one-on-one client situations, so I knew what I needed to do when this bigger, more extensive client came around to make sure it worked well for both of us in the long term. Now, when I say returning clients, I'm not just talking about a client I work with every single week. I'm talking about clients I work with once a quarter. I have some clients I work with twice a year. I have some people I work with at random times throughout the year because they need to license photos from me. They need new stuff for their website or different ads. Now, the third way that I make money with photography is much more sporadic. It's definitely the opposite of what I just talked about, consistent clients, and that is through social media promotion. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I knew social media was going to play a big part in me capturing the audience that I wanted to capture, so I put a lot of energy and effort into building up my Instagram account. Before I even had this YouTube channel, I had about 65,000 subscribers on Instagram, which was a pretty good number back then. It's still a pretty decent number now. But as that following grew, I started being approached by different companies and brands and agencies who wanted to sponsor posts. But the thing with sponsored content on social media, it's so sporadic. You can't really control or predict exactly when these things are going to happen, and you don't really want to rely on them as a real form of revenue for your photography company or business. It's like a nice thing that happens every now and again. It can pump some money into your business so you kind of have back money to work off of. Sponsored posts can just be difficult to plan and predict, and it's not something you want to rely on, in my opinion. So now we're on to the fourth way I make money with my photography, and that is this YouTube channel right here. So as you can imagine, I got pretty busy with clients, with focusing on social media, with the occasional sponsored post on social media. I wasn't going out and shooting as much as I used to when I fell in love with photography. At the end of the day, my favorite type of photography is just going out with my camera and making something out of nothing. And I felt like that was starting to slip away as my business grew. So I started this YouTube channel as an outlet for me to help people, teach people, as well as share my experience and lifestyle as a photographer, someone who just goes out to shoot for fun. I felt like there were a lot of stories and a lot of things happening inside these trips out to shoot, and I wanted to share them with the world. So I got going with this YouTube channel, and once the channel built up a little bit, the AdSense revenue started to flow. This is one other thing that you think people make a ton of money off AdSense revenue. It's okay at times, but it's not the craziest thing in the world. If you want to make a crazy living off of AdSense revenue from YouTube, you need to be like Jake Paul or Logan Paul or PewDiePie or something like that. You need to be a huge channel. For me, that is one of the main reasons I haven't gone to YouTube full time. I enjoy doing it mixed in with all these other things, and it all kind of stacks up on top of each other, as opposed to me stressing out and just relying on this one thing. Because once again, YouTube AdSense revenue, you don't have as much control over. You can sort of predict the way things are going to go, but it's never a definite, and it's not necessarily something I like to rely on, and it makes the channel a little bit more fun for me. I'm not super stressed every month about having to hit a certain exact number of revenue. I just know, all right, as long as we're kind of in this ballpark, everything is all good and the ship stays floating. And with that, I think that is it. Let's review. We got prints, we got one-off clients, we got the returning clients that I work with, Instagram promotions, and YouTube. Some stuff that's honorable mention that you could technically consider revenue but isn't necessarily related to photography is affiliate links on this YouTube channel. I don't promote them very often. They're always in the description of my video. It's like where I get my music, the camera I use, the lighting I use. So if someone watches a video, they can go to those links and I get a very small kickback if they happen to purchase that item. You see this a lot more in like the fitness industry and like the motivational industry. People saying, hey, buy this book, it changed my life, or buy this protein powder or whatever it is, and use this link. Most of those people get a kickback. Affiliate links aren't something I promote very often, and if I had a pie chart of all the revenue I make, affiliate links is definitely the smallest piece. It's very small. Another thing you could consider is merchandise. That's something I'm trying to build up more. I just released the hoodies. I'm hoping to do more of that into the future, and that kind of leads me into the main takeaway point of this video, which is there's so many different ways you can make money with photography if you use the strategy I talk about building building on top of yourself and pivoting and moving from one thing to another as you get proficient in one area. It's really all about being creative and figuring out different things you can do to take advantage of the situation that you are in. And remember, like I said, this is a long process. Everything today was from 2013 to now, and hopefully, in 5 years, 6 years, I'm making another video like this and everything is completely different and has changed from where it is at today. It's all about evolving and building on what you are doing. So I hope you can take this advice. I hope you can take my story, what I talked about, apply it to your stuff, and start building that photography career and start making that money you are looking for. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button for more photography videos. Y'all are the truth. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.